Welcome back. Today it's form, structure, and sense. The questions where the answer choices are all forms of the same word. A verb in 4 tenses, a pronoun in 4 spellings. Most students pick by ear by what sounds smooth. That's the trap. These follow rules, not rhythm. I run the same 3 checks every time and will mark up 5 together, from an easy warm-up to 2 that fool almost everyone. Here's the whole method. 3 checks I run every single time. Check 1. Name the change. Look down the choices and say what is being tested, a verb, a pronoun, a word form. Check 2. Match it to its anchor. Find the one word the answer must agree with, the real subject, the noun a pronoun replaces, or the sentence's time frame, and ignore everything in between. Check 3. Plug it in and read the whole sentence. Make sure the choice gives the clause a complete deconjugated verb and keeps the tense consistent from start to finish. Question 1, our warm-up. Check 1. Name the change. Look down the choices. Arrive, arrives, arriving, have arrived. Every option is a form of the same verb, so this is a subject-verb agreement question. Now check 2. Match it to its anchor. What is doing the arriving, not the oranges? The real subject is a crate, and a crate is singular. Cover up the words in between of ripe oranges, and the sentence is simply a crate arrives. Now the choices. A is arrive, which agrees with the plural oranges sitting right next to the blank, but oranges is not the subject. Set it aside. B is arriving, and ein word alone is not a complete verb, so the sentence would have no main verb. Rule it out. D is have arrived, which is plural and jumps into the present perfect, clashing with each morning. Cross it off. C is arrives, singular, present, matching a crate. C is right. C wins because the subject is a crate, not the oranges standing next to the verb. Match the verb to the real subject, and the plural trap disappears. Question 2. Check 1. Name the change. The choices are it's, there, and there. All pronouns, so this tests pronoun agreement. A pronoun has to match the noun it stands for. So find the anchor. Whose flight path is it? The migrating cranes. And cranes is plural. A plural noun needs a plural pronoun. Predict there before you even look at the options. To the choices. A is its, which is singular, but the cranes are plural, so it can't point back to them. Scratch it. C is there, which is short for they are. Read it in, and you get they are flight path, which is nonsense. Knock it out. D is there, which points to a place and can't show possession at all. Drop it. B is there, the plural possessive that matches the cranes. B holds. B is right because there matches the plural cranes. The apostrophe version, there always means they are never possession. Question 3, and here check 2 leads the way. Check 1 first. The choices are mistake, will mistake, have mistaken, and mistook, all the same verb in different tenses, so this one is about time. Now check 2, match it to the anchor, the sentence's time frame. The volcano erupted, the blast was so loud, and it all happened long ago. The whole sentence is locked in the past, so the verb has to be past too. Weigh the choices. A is mistake, plain present tense, which breaks away from a sentence that already happened. Toss it. B is will mistake, pointing to the future, the exact opposite of the past. Push it aside. C is have mistaken, the present perfect, which pulls the action up to right now, but the sailors heard the blast back then, not now. Away it goes. D is mistook, simple past, matching erupted and was. D is the answer. D is right because everything around the blank is past tense. When the sentence tells you when, a date, or a word like erupted, make the verb agree with that time. Question 4. Harder because the sentence is flipped. Check 1. Check 1. The choices are remain, remains, has remained, remaining, a verb again, so it's agreement. But check 2 is the trap here. The word right before the blank is bed, which is singular, and it pulls you toward a singular verb. Don't take the bait. Flip the sentence around. What remains beneath the surface? The footprints do, and footprints is plural. The real subject comes after the verb. Now the options. B is remains singular, agreeing with lake bed, but the bed isn't the subject. Cut it. C is has remained, also singular, and the plural footprints won't take it. Gone. D is remaining, an ing form that leaves the sentence with no real verb at all. Strike it. A is remain plural, matching the footprints once you flip the sentence. A is it. A is right because an inverted sentence hides its subject after the verb. Flip it back to normal order. The footprints remain, and the number becomes obvious. Question 5, the hardest, and this is where check 3 earns its keep. Check 1, the choices are relying, to rely, relied, having relied. 4 different forms of the same verb, so this tests whether the main clause even has a working verb. Strip the sentence down to its bones. The merchants, blank, on local guides. That main clause needs 1 real conjugated verb, and 3 of these forms simply can't do that job. Read each one in. A is relying. The merchants relying on guides. That's a fragment, no complete verb. Leave it. B is to rely. The merchants to rely on guides. An infinitive can't run the sentence. Strike that one. D is having relied. Another participle that never finishes the clause. That one's out. C is relied. The merchants relied on guides. A real past tense verb that matches wound and used. C takes it. C is right because only relied is a complete verb. Plug each choice into the main clause and read the whole thing. An ing or a to form always leaves the sentence unfinished. That's the method. Name the change, match it to its anchor, then plug it in and read the whole sentence. 10 fresh form and structure questions are waiting in the printable practice test. The link is pinned in the comments. Work them cold and let the anchor, not the nearest word, decide every answer. See you in the next one.